the way how you say it, it's all good here. And we're back for another Blu-ray review here. And I just love how that was on blue as soon as I said Blu-ray. It's meant to be, guys. It's meant to be. We're going to be looking at a Criterion Collection Blu-ray today as we look at none other than one of my favorite directors of all time. Nick, second favorite director of all time. That is none other than the Russian auteur, Andrei Tarkovsky's Mirror from the Criterion Collection. Yeah, this has been sitting on the shelf for too long. I reviewed this movie on the Nerdcore podcast. I have discussed this movie with friends. I have not done a Cinema Condition episode on this, but this is a movie that I've seen multiple times now. I believe this was my third time that I've seen it, and it's one of my favorite movies of all time. It's one of the most prolific pieces of work I've ever seen in my 25 years of living, because this movie truly is remarkable, and it's another example why Andrei Tarkovsky was the incredible artist that he was, and he continues to be even in death. So of course, y'all, if you like physical media, if you like Criterion Collection and all that wonderful stuff, make sure you subscribe to the channel. You leave a like on this video. Make sure you turn on that notification bell when you subscribe so you don't miss a single piece of content that comes to this channel. We love talking about physical media. We love talking about Blu-rays, and it's all there. Make sure you guys stick around, and make sure you let me know what's up. Have you watched Mirror? Have you watched this restoration? Let me know all of that. But of course, Criterion has an incredible introduction. It's also on the back, but because I have trouble seeing, I'm going to go ahead and reach you off from Criterion.com. Let's talk about Mirror. A subtly ravishing passage through the halls of time and memory. This sublime reflection on 20th century Russian history by Andrei Tarkovsky is as much a poem composed in images or a hypnagogic hallucination as it is a work of cinema in a richly textured collage of varying film stocks and newsreel footage. The recollections of a dying poet flash before our eyes, his dreams mingling with scenes of childhood, wartime, and marriage, all imbued with the mystical power of a trance. Largely dismissed by Soviet critics on its release because of its elusive narrative structure, Mirror has since taken its place as one of the director's most renowned and influential works, and a stunning personal statement from an artist transmitting his innermost thoughts and feelings directly from psyche to screen. Of course, these are the features that are included in this release of Mirror. You get a new 2K digital restoration with uncompressed modular soundtrack on the Blu-ray, Andrei Tarkovsky, a cinema prayer, a 2019 documentary about the director by his son, Andrei A. Tarkovsky, The Dream in the Mirror, a new documentary by Louise Milne and Sean Martin, new interview with composer Edward Artemiev, Islands Gregory Redberg, a 2007 documentary with the cinematographer, archival interviews with Tarkovsky and screenwriter Alexander Misharin, and new English subtitle translation. Plus, inside, in the booklet, you get an essay by critic Carmen Gray, and for the Blu-ray, you get a 1968 film proposal and literary script by Tarkovsky and Misharin that they ultimately developed into Mirror. Yep. That's all that is included with Mirror. Now, let's get to look at this packaging, y'all. This is the front of Andrei Tarkovsky's Mirror from the Criterion Collection, and this is coming in at spine number 1084 in the Criterion Collection. And then, of course, you have the spine right here. And the spine's right there too. Oh, actually, turn that around. Yeah, spine right there. I don't know if I'm holding this straight, y'all. Sorry. And then this is the back. Some beautiful art there. This has to be in my top 10 of art from the Criterion Collection, because this is great. And I mean, no, I'm biased because I love Andrei Tarkovsky so much, but this is definitely one of the best arts that they've done for their releases. So This just looks fantastic. Now, let's go ahead and just pull this out. This is a little hard to pull out, y'all. I'm not gonna lie. Even with time, this thing, it's because of the big booklet that comes in it that it's kind of like really hard to pull out sometimes. But we take it out like that. And oof, there you go. There's the booklet coming out. Here's the front. And then there's the back of that. Let's pull out the booklet so we can show y'all with the essay from the critic, and of course the literary, the film proposal and the literary transcript, the script. So here is the back of that. One of my favorite scenes in this movie. If you add me on Facebook, you know that this was one of my cover photos for so long. But yeah, here's one of the back, the front as well. And yeah. Go ahead and open this. This is a great booklet, y'all. I mean, there's some amazing art in here, like that part from the film, when they're doing the part in the school. Let me see if I can find one of my favorites in here. Oh, yeah. Oh, this amazing scene. They have the art right there. But yeah, in here you get that essay from the film essay. And you get, that script and the proposal. It's a big booklet, y'all. Like it is big. So this is definitely worth the price. Especially if you bought this during the Barnes & Noble sale, this was way worth the price because this has so much that you can read through. And I'm excited to get through it when I can. Next, of course, you open this up and you have this amazing art right here, and you have your Blu-ray disc and your special features disc. Let me see. I'm gonna go ahead and pull out the discs. So this is what the back looks like with the discs out. This incredible art right there. Kind of hard to see it, right? You're looking at my setup right there, but it looks wonderful. It looks incredible. So that was the packaging for Criterion's release of Mirror, and it's just incredible, y'all. I mean, I have every single piece of work from Andrei Tarkovsky that is in the Criterion collection. This is his only digipack release, and I was hoping that this would be a digipack because I'm just in love with the way this packaging is, and I'm just in love with the art that they put on this. So I'm so happy that they did this. Oh, I'm so wrong. I'm sorry. Andrei Rublev also has an incredible digipack, but this is just fantastic. This is easily the best packaging they've done for a release from Andrei Tarkovsky, and I love that this movie finally was released on Blu-ray here in the United States. Now, if you're here for an expert, analysis of what this movie is saying, and if you think I have any idea what Andrei Tarkovsky is trying to do with this movie, I'm sorry. You're wrong. I'm so sorry. I can't sit here and give you a 10-minute thesis on what I believe this movie is saying, because after a third rewatch, I still have no idea what Tarkovsky is trying to do. But I know that this is one of his most intimate films, and this is one of his most deepest looks into his personal thoughts. I think the other one that is that example is Nostalgia, which is like his basically pouring out his feelings in Nostalgia about why he feels so sad that he was kind of, exiled by his country in a way. But this is one of his most intimate works. If you watch this more as a memory, watch this more as a visual poem and a tracing of memory, then you're not gonna spend a lot of time trying to understand this film, because I feel like Tarkovsky doesn't want you to understand what's going on. He wants you to watch this more as an observer and as somebody who's trying to just go through these moments and listen to somebody give you their thoughts and give you their memories. And that's why I think that this is an incredible movie. It's one of my favorite movies of all time. I always fall in love with this movie every single time that I watch it. There's the first time I watched it, I was like, wow, like I've never seen anything like that. I don't think I'll ever see anything like that ever again. I was confused, but the more it sat with me, the more that I was impressed. And that second time I watched this movie was when it really, really clicked for me. And I was like, Andrei is just pouring himself out to the audience. And he's giving us the most poetic film that he's ever made. Because all of his other movies, even though they're not straight to the point, they very much carry a narrative and something that they're trying to display. Whereas this one is truly experimental filmmaking, where he's more so trying to convey emotion instead of a meaning behind what he's trying to say. And that's why it sounds silly because of course Christopher Nolan expressed that when it came to his film Tenet, but this is a film that you don't need to understand. You need to feel this movie, and it's just incredible. A lot of scenes here, like the house burning, the mom levitating in the air, the scene with the kids at the school when they're learning to shoot the gun. They're just incredible scenes and incredible examples of just masterclass of filmmaking that Andrei Tarkovsky has always figured out how to present so poetically on screen. And of course, it feels long. It is not long at all, though. It's one of his shortest films. This one and Ivan's Childhood are some of his shorter films, but it's still fantastic. I feel like it feels long, and of course it's gonna drag because that is Tarkovsky. He makes them long and he makes them feel like they drag forever. But sometimes a film needs to feel like that. Sometimes it needs to feel like you're on it for a long journey. And I'm always just left so impressed by this movie. And it's why I think it's a perfect movie, and it's one of my favorite movies of all time. Now, for the longest time, this movie was not available in the United States to own. You could not buy this movie on Blu-ray unless you had a region-free player and you were able to, play it on a region-free player. But there was no North American release of Mirror. You could watch it on streaming sites. Not even one. I think you could just watch it on Vudu, and it was a terrible looking copy. I mean, it didn't look good at all, and you can tell that it was a very very old print that did not have any restoration done to it. It was really rough around the edges. Whereas this new restoration from Criterion is amazing. I mean, when I first heard that this movie was getting a restoration from the Film at Lincoln Center, when they were going to play it at the Film at Lincoln Center, I was really happy because that means that a Criterion release is coming. It's going to be coming. And when it finally got announced for Criterion, I was super happy. But I saw those screenshots and I said, wow, they put some good work into this. And there were specific scenes that I was really looking forward to seeing in this new restoration, to see how they handled them. And specifically those in sepia and black and white. Because, of course, the color ones already looked great and in the screenshots, but they didn't have most of those sepia tone ones. And I was really interested to see as well how they would restore some of that archival footage he uses in this, which I'm glad to report that it's just incredible. This is, of course, not a 4K digital restoration. This is a straight up 2K, and even then in 2K, it looks fantastic. I watched it on my 4K player, on my 4K TV, so it's, of course, going to have that upscaling, and that upscaling helps it so well. Tarkovsky is a filmmaker that I don't really care to see in 4K UHD. I don't think we'll ever get Tarkovsky anytime soon in 4K UHD. And I'm okay with that because even in 2K or 1080p, this looks amazing. The audio, that surround sound is fantastic. I mean, they did such an incredible job at being able to preserve the audio quality and present the feeling of the audio from the old tracks, and being able to bring new life into it. And the dialogue sounds so crisp. But before the old print that I watched, had a lot of hissing. It felt really raw. It sounded really rough, and especially the sounds of like the water was it still sounded great, but it was still a little rough around the edges. You could tell that there was work that needed to be done in order to bring out a great restoration of this film. And that's what they did with this release from Criterion. They did an incredible job at being able to bring new life into this movie, and now it's finally available for us to own here in the United States in our hands. And I'm so happy because this movie deserves it. It's one of the best movies I've ever seen, and its video and audio restorations really show how far technology comes in restoring these films that we think at the time they're gone forever. There's no way that we can get these films. Like, it's hard. Like, there's no news out there that these films are ever going to come to the United States or everywhere else. And the way that they just bring out the special qualities of what these movies had back then on these new formats is it's amazing. And I'm just so happy that this movie got that right treatment and that right restoration, because it deserves it. And it's one of my favorite Criterion's releases, and it's one of my prized possessions. If I can tell you one of my white whales, this is one of them, because this is a film that I love a lot, and I'm happy that I am able to hold it with my hand right now. Of course, to keep up to date with me and all the things that I do on social media, make sure you follow me at the Nerdy Chicano on Instagram, Twitter, Letterboxd, Serialized, and TikTok, and on Twitch as well. All those things I'm under the Nerdy Chicano. I'm pretty much keep it all the same so that way it could be a lot easier for everybody. For all the things that I'm doing with the Nerdcore, make sure you visit us at thenerdcore.com, and that's going to be our website, and on YouTube and Twitch under the Nerdcore. And just come and support us, y'all. It's a great podcast. We're nearing by the time that this video is out, we've already hit episode 500, so go and check that out. And yeah, I talked about Mirror there a long while ago. If you find the episode, just search up Mirror, the Nerdcore, you'll find the episode, and listen to it to hear our thoughts on that movie, because God, I never get tired talking about this movie, ever. It's just like Stalker. I've seen it multiple times, and I never, ever, ever, get tired of talking about it. If you want early access to this video or videos like this, go to patreon.com/thenerdchicano and, pledge to a tier. It's not a requirement, y'all. I appreciate anybody who even watches the videos. But if you want to go ahead and lend a helping hand and give a little bit of your money there, for $3 you get early access to every video that I make on this channel. So go and check that out if you like. $5 gets you film essays that I'm making just for patrons. So that should be a lot of cool stuff, and I hope you all enjoy that. So, once again, it's not a requirement. I just am happy to be able to talk about this stuff with y'all. Of course, y'all, I will catch you all on the next video. I've got some more Blu-rays that I'm going to get through and some more 4Ks. Of course, keep up to date with, the Between the Frames series that we do, where we talk about film sets from, some boutique Blu-rays. But other than that, this is it, y'all. I've had a lot of fun talking about Mirror. If you like Mirror, talk to me in the comments. If you like this release, talk to me in the comments. Any of that stuff. Let's just talk in the comments. Let's talk about physical media, because I love physical media and you love physical media. That's why you're watching this video. So, without further ado, y'all, to my wonderful cinephiles and renowned scholars, celebrate the love of cinema today, tomorrow, and every day. I'll see you all in the next one, guys.